In this video, I'm going to show you how I prepare my steel cut oats. There are tons of ways to do this. There's no right or wrong way. I'm just sharing the way that works for me and that I like. I had some people ask, how do I do it? And so I'm making a video to share my process. I start with these really good Bob's Red Mill steel cut oats. I add some of these organic berry blend dried berries. You could also use raisins and vanilla bean paste. I really like vanilla bean paste. And cashew milk. I make my own cashew milk, and if you'd like to see how I do that, I will link the video in the upper corner. Okay, and the big thing in my process for making steel cut oats is that I use a pressure cooker. And I've used a few different ones, and I have to say I'm absolutely sold on Instant Pot. I love this thing. It's awesome. I just picked it up at Walmart. It was not expensive. It was like $60 some. It wasn't prohibitive. But this thing is so nice to cook in. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure out a cup of the steel cut oats, and then we're just going to pour them right in. The Instant Pot has this like inner steel pot, and this is where all the cooking happens. You just pour everything in, that's all. It's awesome. So there's our 1 cup of steel cut oats. Next up, my next ingredient is a 1/3 cup overflowing, basically, of the dried berries. I had dried cranberries that were open, so that's what I'm using. And you just drop it in. I'm going to do a squirt of the vanilla bean paste. Getting low. Just the squirt. An optional ingredient is a little maple syrup. When I was a girl, my favorite oatmeal was maple sugar, maple syrup, maple something brown sugar. I don't know. I loved that stuff. It was my favorite. And this reminds me of that. So I have this organic maple syrup, and I'm just gonna put, a little bit. So this is how it looks. Everything's just kind of dumped in. I only have maybe a tablespoon of the maple syrup. I also like to add a little bit of cinnamon to my oatmeal. So we're going to just put that in. Just not really measuring. I'm just putting it in there. I like cinnamon. It's also supposed to be really good for you. So yeah, that's it. Just all on top. Oh, it smells so good. It smells amazing. It looks like crap, but it smells really good. Now we're going to add our liquids, and I'm going to use the cashew milk. For 1 cup of oats, you want 3 cups of liquid. So I'm going to do 1.5 cups of my freshly prepared cashew milk. You could also do almond milk or whatever kind of non-dairy milk that you like. Next, we're going to do 1.5 cups of water, and I use the water just out of my pitcher. Okay, and I'll put it all in. Right, and now we're just going to stir it up. I mean, it really doesn't look like much right now. That's the magic of the pressure cooker. So there it is. It smells fantastic though. So here's what you do. We're going to plug it in. And then it's seated properly. Put it in the lock position. We're going to make sure that our little steam escape valve is facing forward. that indicates that now it's locked in the time and it's going to start cooking. So I'm going to go take a walk while it's doing this, and we'll be back and have delicious hot oatmeal. So I wanted you to hear the cooker actually working. We can't really see anything, but there's some steam escaping from the valve, but mostly it's just really super noisy. But I want you to notice this. See how it still says on? That is because the pressure cooker is still coming up to pressure. So the biggest misconception that people have about pressure cooking is they will see a recipe that says cook time is 3 minutes, or in this case 4 minutes that we've typed in for the oatmeal, and they think, oh, 4 minutes, it's done. Well, that's not exactly how it works, because you have to account for the cooker to come up to pressure. When it gets to pressure, then it will start the cook time. And then you have the process of waiting for the pressure to go down. Sometimes you release the pressure quickly, other times you do what they call a slow release method, which means the pressure dissipates naturally. With the oatmeal, we are going to do slow release because it just makes for a more tender green when you finally are able to eat your oatmeal. So yeah, that's a thing. You need to make sure you plan enough time to cook in the pressure cooker. That threw me off when I first got it. I thought, oh, everything will be done in 10 minutes. Well, not exactly. But it is worth it. Okay, and I'm back from my walk, and what I want you to notice is that the display is saying L024. And what that means is that the food finished cooking, and it's been on a warming cycle for 24 minutes. So I, put everything in, set it up, went out, did my little walk, jog around the neighborhood, and now I'm back, and my oatmeal has finished, and the pot has kept it warm for me for 24 minutes. So the first thing that we're going to do is come to the top, and that's the pressure release valve, and we're just going to slip that, and as you can see, nothing comes out. That means that the pot has come down to normalized pressure all on its own. That's called the slow release method. When you allow the pressure, this is hot by the way, when you allow the pressure to come down on its own, that's slow release. Okay, so then we're just going to come under the little handle, turn it, you can hear it, that noise, that means it's like released or whatever. I'm just going to put that in the sink. And this is what the oatmeal looks like when you take off the top. So we're just going to get in and we're going to start up. And now you have the most creamy oatmeal you have ever tried in your life. You can eat it just like this, or if you want to revisit those childhood memories, you can take just a little bit of brown sugar and sprinkle on top and make your very own maple brown sugar oatmeal. As the sugar sits on top of the oatmeal, it just melts right in. It's absolutely gorgeous and it tastes amazing. And I know that the sugar police probably will not approve, but it's your meal and you should fix it how it makes you most happy. That's just how I feel about it. So that's my philosophy. And that's how I make my steel cut oatmeal in the pressure cooker. I hope that you found it helpful and that you give it a try.